Hello there. This is your host Habib Zakaria, and in this short video I'll be showing you how to configure DHCP scope in switches and routers. The reason why I'm putting this video is because of sharing knowledge, of course, and also to tell you about my experience in one of the businesses I was going as a consultant. One of their DHCP crashed, and that day particularly the users were not getting access to their file share and to their network resources or to their applications. Obviously things were not working very well in that environment. As soon as I realized this is the problem, I went into the core switch and I configured the DHCP scope for the corporate devices. And the other point is really this is something that you need to know. You may not configure a DHCP scope in a switch or in a router because most of the corporations have their DHCP servers in-house, and that's how it goes. But this was a special circumstance where I needed a DHCP server on the network, and that server happens to be the switch that I configured the scope. So with no further delay, let's go ahead and do the steps together. I hope you will like and subscribe for more videos in the future. The DHCP scope here. This is a switch, and I'm gonna basically go through the steps. So basically, the first thing is you create an interface VLAN, and you call it interface VLAN 10, 20, whatever you want, and you give an IP VLAN 10. Now let's go into the interface itself and give it an IP. Interface VLAN 10, and let's give it an IP address of 10.10.10.1 255.255.255.0. It's a good practice to do no shut on that interface. And here basically what we will do now is configure the IP DHCP exclude address. Let me exclude the first 10 IP addresses, or the first 20 IP addresses. And now let's create the DHCP pool, and I'll call it corporate devices. And now let's give it the network address. Default router is the interface IP address, and then lease. So lease is basically, after lease is the number of days. It's going to be 0 days, 8 hours, and basically 0 minutes. That's the lease. And obviously this is the DHCP scope that we created, and now we will assign an interface that have the, just to test it, I have an interface here, or a port number, which is interface GI 3/3, and switch port mode access, we'll give it a VLAN. Switch port access VLAN 10. So that's done. The other thing I would always create is basically make sure like you do no shut, so you know this is a host port, and there you go. You get like switch port mode is access when you apply it. When you apply the host command, spanning tree port fast is enabled, channel group is disabled, because this port is basically a host. Now in this port, what I have is a Ubuntu machine, and uh, and I want to make sure like it gets the IP address, right? So the VLAN to it, and now we have to basically enable the networking feature. So the networking feature is enabled and it says it's established, and now the other thing is just to see and confirm if we have an IP address assigned. And as you can see, it picked up an IP which is 10.10.10.21. That's the IP. And so that's good, right? The other thing is we can also check from the switch if I do show IPR, and you can see the MAC address of the Ubuntu desktop is here. The IP address is provided here. And with this video, I have concluded the DHCP scope, and we tested the lease, and also we checked it on the Ubuntu desktop. I hope you have liked the video and you have learned how to configure DHCP scope in a switch. Uh, Thank you very much.